Hey everyone, Matt at Matt Print This, back for our weekly What Have We Done This Week video. It's going to be a little different today, a little bit longer because we have some news. But before we get to that, let's see what we've done. So first off, we have these eagles. They came out really nice. They're very solid feeling. So that's going to be a great item. We are doing more animals with attitude. We did these coos, these Highland cows. We haven't printed the sign yet, but that will come later. We also did pigs with attitude. And we are also in the process of printing penguins. So this is the body. The head is printing on the printer now. We'll take a look at that in a minute. We are adding to our adoption day dogs with some Shelties. These came out great. Love the attention to detail on the paws here. That's really cool. We did some capybaras. Everybody loves capybaras. They're cool animals. And we did pandas, which are also cool animals. And we did cows. And not only did we do cows, we did anatomically correct cows. So they have udders that pop out of the belly. That's a really funny detail. We did some bunnies. We had somebody at our last show ask if we had any bunnies, which we didn't in this size, so we printed some bunnies. Guarantees that we won't print any now, or we won't sell any, because every time somebody asks for something, we don't have it, we print it, and then we never sell them. And then we did some sea turtles. Everybody loves sea turtles. These are fun because they also have a hinged tail, too. So that's really cute. We did some bats. These came out really nice. And I noticed that they have these hooked feet. So you could actually like hang them from a piece of string or something. So that's really neat. We did some Jesus on a keychains because why not? We did some more octopus. So let me talk about these for a minute. This is our previous printing of the octopus, and we always use a rainbow filament for the body and a silk filament for the spots and the underside. So that was our previous printing. This is our printing this time with a different filaments. So that came out really cool. This is our fourth printing of these. They sell quite a bit, so that's great. And this is one of my favorite items, so very happy about that. Then we did a crystal dragon. So this came out phenomenal. Really love the coloring on that. It's a little difficult to stand up here. It's probably gonna droop. There we go, especially doing that one-handed. So the first bit of news is we were supposed to have a show tomorrow, a market tomorrow, but we canceled because one of our studio dogs is at the vet right now having surgery. Wasn't planned for today, but that's how things worked out. And we didn't think it would be a good idea to be away all day at a market tomorrow. That's an hour away. So we canceled, and the host was gracious enough to say, okay, you know, we'll credit your deposit for a show later this year. So that was fantastic. They didn't have to do that, but that was really nice. So we'll be doing something with them later this year. But we are doing some Christmas and July shows. So we've been busy printing Christmas stuff. I kind of teased this last week with a photo, and here is the product of some of our work. So we did these tiny Santas and tiny Mrs. Claus. So these came out, and we're going to put those in an advent calendar. So we're going to do some advent calendars and put some minis in for each day. So Santa and Mrs. Claus will be making an appearance in that. We did some Christmas clickers. So we have some Christmas tree clickers, different designs. We have some snowman clickers. This one has a Santa cap. This one has a top hat. And we did some gingerbread clickers. So different designs on these too. And that is pretty much what we've done in the last couple of weeks. Last week wasn't too busy. This week we started ramping up on production again. So that's what we've done. Now over on the printers, this print just finished. But we're doing some snowman, some different snowmen. And you'll notice this item on the back. It's a dragon. That's not a Christmas item. And you'll see that the coloring on it is pretty unique. What this is when you have a multicolor print, the printer has to change the colors, okay? And there's only one filament at a time that can go into the print head, so it has to pull the filament back, load a new filament in, and then push out the old color. And when it pushes out that old color, it creates what we call poop. Oh, maybe it's just changing color. I thought it was done. It was just changing the color. That's cool. Thank you, printer, for coming to life. So it prints out this poop, right? And these are little strands. This was going from orange to red, or red to orange. I'm not sure what direction it was. This one was going from black to white, or white to black. So it creates this printer poop. And instead of just wasting that filament as poop, you can actually print objects. So I decided to print this dragon, and it came out really, the coloring on it came out pretty phenomenal. That's going to be fun. And that's the story behind these cubes that we do. So you see we got a ton of cubes, and these gyro spinner wheels. These are all flush objects, and they're all uniquely colored depending on what was loaded in the printer, and the different colors. This was from an American Eagle. So it was really cool. And we give those items away. Over on our other printer, we have the penguin heads. And you'll see that there's a hole in the center, and that hole is for the ball joint on the body. So the head's just going to snap right onto the penguin body here. Over on our other printer, we did some known clickers. So we printed these face down, so the clicker part is going to have a flat surface, but they have different designs. I think there's 5 different designs here. So those will be neat. So the other bit of news, and I did a whole video on this and I didn't really like it, so I'm just going to announce it here, is we ended up retiring our first production printer. This is the Bambu Lab P1S. It's got about 3,300 hours on it. Still a great, capable printer, still has a lot of life left in it. The problem was the AMS. This AMS is the original version of the AMS, and over time the gears get worn down and it can't push the filament and it starts to slip. So we decided, okay, we'll buy a new AMS and replace it. Bought the AMS from Micro Center. It was supposed to be ready the next morning. We didn't get an email the next morning saying our order is ready, but we headed up there anyway, and we ended up getting a new AMS. This is the newer model, the AMS2 Pro. And it's got stronger gears and hardened gears to eliminate that filament slipping problem. So we ended up getting the new AMS, but the AMS also came with a new printer. So this is the Bambu Lab X2D. This printer came out just about a month ago or so, so it's the newest product in their lineup. The D signifies dual nozzle. So this printer actually has 2 different nozzles, and that's why there's 2 different lines running in here. It's kind of hard to tell. You see the lighter color and then the darker color. And right now it is printing with the left nozzle, which is the primary nozzle. So the way this works is this AMS can hold up to 4 different spools, 4 different colors. This is connected to the left nozzle, and this AMS is connected to the right nozzle. So on a 2-color print like this is actually a 3-color, because it's printing a little bit of brown, but when it was printing the black and the white, it was flipping the nozzles between black and white. And it's very quick, it just switched. So now it's just doing the right nozzle. And what this does is this eliminates having to poop out the filament, so you don't end up with a bunch of poop. So that saves not only filament, but it also saves time, because it doesn't have to spend time pulling the filament back, loading up another filament, pushing the old filament out, and loading the new filament in. So it's really done wonders for our efficiency on some of these prints. Now, of course, if it's multiple colors being used here, it's still switching between the 2, but you're going to at least eliminate 1 color from having to be switched out, and that is a big time savings. So that is it for this week. We'll be back next week with another video. Thanks, and have a great day.